call the Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session meeting to order. Today is March 30th, 2021, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brown.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown.
Welcome, Commissioner O'Grady.
As a reminder to those who are here with us today, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. We kindly ask that you maintain the same level of decorum as if we were meeting in person. Finally, for those of you calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line by pressing *6. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Continuing in our celebration of Women's History Month, which has been a very robust and fun and educational month for us. We have a very special guest with us here today. She really needs no introduction to any of us, but certainly we'll take a little bit of time to do that. And we'd like to welcome Christie Angel, the President and CEO of the YWCA of Columbus. Ms. Angel has held a number of leadership positions in local government, nonprofits, and the private sector throughout Central Ohio, and has been leading the YWCA since 2017. She serves on numerous boards and is an advocate daily for homeless women and children in Franklin County. Here to tell us more about that and discuss her leadership experiences is our good friend. It says my good friend, but I know I'm confident I can say our good friend because you're so many folks a good friend. It's Christie Angel. Before we do, it's just such a pleasure. I feel like I've kind of grown up with Christie in politics, if you will. You might be slightly older than me, just slightly, my sister. But
see how rude he is. See how rude he is sometimes.
I totally. You know what? Hey, I'm sorry. I am rude. That is rude. It's so good to be the young commissioner. I'm still somewhere, considered young. But I just want to say before I turn over to Christie that we kind of grew up in politics together. She does have a couple years on me, but we grew up together. But she is one of the people that I truly idolize and think has really just gotten it all right. I mean, I just don't know anyone who can maneuver from so many different lenses and angles and be as effective from one to the next as Christie has been. And so you're a true living legend in everything that you do. And I know we'll have comments at the end from our colleagues, but it's just my pleasure to introduce such a good friend and such a person who's been such a impactful leader in women's history right here in Central Ohio. And I know you're doing great things at the YW. And so the floor is yours, and welcome to the Board of Commissioners.
Well, thank you, President Boyce, for those kind remarks. And it's great to be here with Commissioner Brown, Commissioner O'Grady, and the entire team of the Franklin County Commissioners and in Franklin County. I'm honored to speak today, in Women's History Month, during Women's History Month, as we get ready to bring the month to a close. I like to say, just like we say about Black history, it really should be Black History Month and Black history. We should celebrate it all year long. We should celebrate women's history all year long. And that's kind of what the YWCA, that's what we are all about, is really, about empowering women and eliminating racism. That's our mission. And that's the thread that runs through everything that we do at YWCA Columbus. And really, across the country, that's the mission of YWCAs, and that's the work that we all do across the country. I would be remiss if I don't talk about, when I think about women's history, in my own career and some of the roles that I've been able to hold, and because people have supported me and lifted me up, and oftentimes that was other women, my mentors and people who believed in me and gave me an opportunity. But it oftentimes, especially in the political realm, it was men. who also, said, hey, Christie, why don't you try this or take this opportunity or join this team? And, I think in Columbus in general, I personally, have had phenomenal opportunities and been embraced by this community and given, opportunity after opportunity. And so, it's often, it's not often said, but just a thank you, because many of you were those individuals, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner O'Grady, even though he went to Reedy, we'll let that go. We have to do that. We have to do this thing, right? And even, and you, Commissioner Boyce, even though you are slightly younger than I am, you still, you were holding leadership positions, and I was staffing, whether it was staffing Mayor Coleman or, doing government relations work. You were someone who, always gave me, had an open door, an ear, and gave me opportunities to lead. And I think, that's really what we are about at YWCA. We're really about giving people an opportunity to lead and to shine, and empowering them where they are in their lives. So whether or not they are, living in our downtown building because they've suffered, some setbacks in life, they were formerly homeless, or women who may have all who have some type of disability, but are looking to, have a fresh start and looking to live more independent lives, then we see them as, being empowered to do that. I had the pleasure yesterday of hearing about 2 residents who are moving out. And that's always brings joy to my day when I hear that there are residents who are ready to leave us and move on. They don't need that level of care and wraparound service. And those women receive their Section 8 certificates, because Section 8 certificates are available right now. And one is moving to Virginia, and the other is moving to the Atlanta area, because she's going to pursue a music career, and she's quite the rapper. So I'm really interested in, the hip hop artist in her and where she goes, but knowing that she kind of got her fresh start in our downtown building. And then, if families, women and men, find themselves homeless, right? There again, another fresh start, and we empower them to take charge of their lives, to, move on. We give them the supports they need, the childcare and all of those wraparound services, including, job and family services and child support, and the agencies that, are directly involved with Franklin County and the services that you provide. We have those individuals and those services in our building as well. Not so much in the building right now because of COVID, but certainly they will be back. But we make sure that they have all of those supports so that they can then move on and get housing and begin to, again, get another fresh start after maybe losing their home. And then, of course, we have leadership programs for middle school girls on the west side and on the south side. And we're hoping to go into the Linden area soon, and probably even move out into some of the suburban communities like Westerville and Gahanna. We have the, after school care programs in Westerville and Gahanna. And then that thread of social justice and racial equity that runs through every single thing that we do is most important as well. So we're now combining empowerment with the racial equity work together. And so those threads run through everything. And our goal is just really to, create a better Columbus and give women, and girls and families what they need to be successful. And that's really what we're about. And I think my entire career, there's been a little bit of that in my entire career. And so now I'm just so happy to be able to lead this organization, and do this work. So thank
Christie,
you.
I think that's what attracts me to the YWCA, is that dual mission that YWCAs across the country have had, is that social justice and eliminating racism while empowering women mission is so important. And you embody that in your work. And I think that's what is so valuable to having you as leader of the organization. In everything I've ever seen you do, you embody that, and I so appreciate that and respect you for that. I'm so happy that we were able to have you come today and share your thoughts and insights. Thank you for all that you've brought to the work that you've done in Columbus. I really appreciate you and everything that you've done. And I really appreciate what you do in this community every day for our women and young girls, and in the area of social justice as well. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate it. I will say another thing, just a thank you to all of you for declaring racism as a public health crisis. Wow, almost a year ago. That work, we have several team members involved on a committee to really kind of operationalize that, or begin to really look at what that looks like in an implementation. And we are very happy to be partnering with Franklin County in that work.
So, Christie, some of us can talk about our histories together and the amount of time that we've known each other without doing it in a backhanded way and making it embarrassing. So I think I'll try to do that.
Impossible, John. It's impossible.
Yeah. So obviously we've known each other for some time, and I've always admired you and the work that you've done in all the different facets of your career. A lot of times people, I think the majority of people who know me think of me and they think of the men in my life. They think of my father. They think of my older brother, or my older brothers. But what I don't think they realize about me, people who know me well know that the women in my life are the ones who really have had the biggest impact. My mother, who raised 12 children, my 7 older sisters, all of whom I'm the youngest of 12. And so my 7 older sisters were just immediately older than me, and they all had a very, very seriously strong hand in raising me. It terrorized me mostly, but they were very, very seriously involved in raising me and create, directing me in my life. But I also then worked for a number of very confident and strong women who were very influential in my life. And then once I got involved in government and politics, a number of very strong independent women, yourself including them, helped to mold who I became, because I observed them and the way that they operated, including one that we lost most recently in Danny Palmore. And so the women in my life, while my father was certainly a central figure in my life, my mother was a guiding force and in raising me. She was there every day while my dad was off being, the old style breadwinner, and so my mom was the one who really, instilled in me the values, many and most of the values that I learned, and my sisters were there to really shape who I was as well. While my brothers were much older in my family, and so not around as much because they were off in college and had started their careers and things. And so, women really have created and shaped who I am. And then once I got into out of college the first time, before I went back, and into the business world, it was again the women in my life who were the strongest, most influential people in my life and my career. And then, Christie and certainly my colleagues know my wife and what a strong influence she has been over the last 30 years of my life. So, and so the work that you've done, Christie, over the years that I've known you, and I won't, like my colleague, I won't, be as bold about those years. But the time I've known you and watched and observed you, you've been such a consummate professional. And you've always improved the organizations that you've been a part of dramatically in most instances. So even though to this day, I still really have a strong distaste for the color purple, I commend you for a fantastic career.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't find any purple to wear. I thought about that, but
Yeah. Silver and blue is still such a regal, wonderful color combination, but purple is just a distasteful thing.
Well, let me just conclude by saying, Christie, I know I speak on behalf of the residents here of Central Ohio, and we say thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you have done in Central Ohio, and thank you for what you will do. The YWCA is such a critical part of the strength of Central Ohio, and it truly is a center of strength for us all on so many levels. And your leadership really puts us in position as we address poverty and racism and equality to be partners with us in that. And you have. And when we declared racism as a public health crisis, you very much have been a part of that calculation to get to that point. And with the work that we did with the Rise Together Blueprint. And so thank you for what you have done. And Godspeed to you. You are truly one of my favorite people. And I must say, you just really are. You and your husband, Otto, are just pillars of the community. And we thank you both for what you represent and what you do. And I should say it's Otto the third.
yes.
Get that right. Get that right. Oh, say she's heard the Otto radio. Okay, yeah.
Like, no, that's Joyce. That's the
Right.
husband.
Right, little confusing there. But again, truly, I know there's probably some young lady watching right now that is inspired by your work and inspired by your presence. And so I know I am. And so I'm sure that there's a young lady out there watching too that is. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to all the work that we all have ahead of us. Some of it will be challenging, but it will be, on behalf of, the residents of Franklin County. And I think, it will be good work that we're going to do together. We know there's quite a bit of it ahead of us, but I look forward to us kind of climbing out of this pandemic and coming back stronger than we entered it, quite frankly.
Absolutely. Well, we'll do it together. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Christie.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks,
evening.
Christie.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. All right. All right. So it's so good to see our good friend Christie Angel. Let's keep it moving. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the March 23rd, 2021 general session, the March 25th, 2021 briefing session, and the March 22nd and 24th, 2021 administrative briefings?
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you. First up is the auditor's office.
Resolution number 22921, resolution approving a first software as a service agreement modification with Tyler Technologies Incorporated related to the county's computer-assisted mass appraisal system.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is P.R. Casey, General Counsel, Deputy Chief of Staff to Franklin County Auditor Stenziana. Good morning.
Morning.
Our first resolution this morning authorizes a zero-cost modification with Tyler Technologies Incorporated related to the county's migration of its computer-assisted mass appraisal system to a cloud-based solution. The original contract was approved in June of 2020, and the migration has been largely successful. As originally negotiated, the county was to receive credits for payments already made towards annual maintenance on the legacy system. And this modification properly aligns the terms to account for those credits by adjusting the start of the proration forward by 2 months. Pending any questions or comments, we seek approval of the resolution.
If there are no comments, I'll move approval of 22921.
Second?
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 22921 has been adopted. Resolution number 23021, resolution approving a first supplemental contract modification with IT Federal Sales for street level imagery.
Yes, Commissioners, our second resolution also is a zero-cost modification with IT Federal Sales LLC to modify the schedules in 2021 and 2022 for planned street-level imagery updates to the county's GIS system. These street-level images are taken for every property in the county and are a vital tool in order to maintain accurate, up-to-date property records for each parcel, allowing advanced analytical tools to track changes to property profiles, such as demolitions and new constructions from each shoot. As modified, the new scheduled drives of the entire county will provide a portfolio of up-to-date pictures, positively impacting the auditor's full reappraisal duties scheduled in 2023. Pending any questions or comments, we seek approval of the resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move for approval of 23021.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23021 has been adopted. Resolution number 23121, resolution approving an assignment and assumption agreement between Data Cloud Solutions and Wolpert Incorporated related to implementation and support for mobile assessment tools.
Commissioners, our third and last resolution approves a zero-cost assignment and assumption agreement between Data Cloud Solutions LLC and Wolpert and Company. In 2020, the county approved of the purchase of a suite of advanced analytical tools from Data Cloud Solutions, an Ohio-based appraisal firm. You may recall the auditor's office has routinely presented resolutions for services from Wolpert and Company, an Ohio-based engineering and geospatial consulting firm that provides, among other things, flyover pictures for the state under the Ohio Statewide Imagery Project. Wolpert and Data Cloud Solutions merged in late 2020 through an asset purchase agreement. We expect that our original partnership with Data Cloud Solutions can only become stronger and more beneficial for the county long-term now that they've teamed up with Wolpert. The assignment and assumption does not modify the product nor the services that the county has purchased. Rather, because Data Cloud Solutions has now become a Wolpert company, this agreement will authorize Wolpert to invoice for the work during the term of the original contract. Pending any questions or comments, we would seek approval of this resolution, and we thank you for your time this morning. And I would like to give a shout out to the purchasing staff and Megan in particular for helping us group these three no-cost amendments together and work them through the process quickly. Always wonderful to work with them.
Thank you for that. Any other comments? Otherwise, I'll move approval of 23121.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23121 has been adopted.
Okay. Next, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 23221, resolution to fix an hour and date for the view and first hearing on the Mando Ditch Watershed, Brown Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners, staff members, and constituents. My name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer and Franklin County Drainage Engineer. Commissioners, this first resolution is for the Mando County Ditch Petition in the west part of the county in Brown Township, bounded by Amity Road to the west, Patterson Road to the north, and Morris Road to the south. Frank Mando filed a single county ditch petition on February 24th to improve drainage in the Mando Ditch Watershed. This resolution fixes the hour and date of the virtual viewing to be May 5th at 1 p.m. and the first hearing to be June 8th at 9 a.m. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval.
So the key word is virtual ditch viewing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? I'll move approval of 23221.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23221 has been adopted.
Engineering.
Resolution number 23321, resolution authorizing a settlement to Kelsey Chevalier for a disputed vehicle damage claim involving property owned by Franklin County in the amount of $500.
Commissioners, on November 15th, 2020, a motorist was traveling on Wagner Road when a yellow warning sign maintained by the engineer's office blew off its signpost in high winds and damaged the vehicle. Thankfully, there were no injuries. We performed an investigation, worked with the prosecutor's office, and recommend that the engineer's office pay for the property damage in the amount of $500. I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments, I'll move approval of 23321.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23321 has been adopted.
Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. You too. Prosecuting attorney.
Resolution number 23421, resolution authorizing contracts with Albin & Albin, Columbus Title Agency of Westerville Incorporated, and Paramount Title Agency Incorporated for title insurance services.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Mary Johnson. I'm Chief Counsel of the Tax Division for the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. We seek approval of the resolution for the contract for the title insurance services. These are services that are provided so that we can do the treasurer's tax foreclosures. There are three firms that are going to do the work if it is approved, and the contract is for a 1-year period with 3 optional renewals. We seek approval. If you have further questions, I'm happy to answer them.
If there are no questions.
Sorry, Commissioner, I apologize.
Yeah.
Use the same 3 firms that we've been using. They look familiar.
Yes, you're correct, Commissioner. It's the 3 that we had last time. And they're the 3 that these are the only 3 that actually bid on it this time.
Okay.
So.
I knew that Albin and Columbus Title looked familiar. I wasn't positive about Paramount. So anyway,
thank you.
Mm-hmm. If there are no other questions, I'll move approval of 23421.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23421 has been adopted.
Thank you.
All right, next sheriff.
Resolution number 23521, resolution authorizing a settlement of a disputed claim for bodily injury to Alex Taylor in an auto accident involving a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy in the amount of $1,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. Our resolution approves the settlement of a bodily injury claim from an accident that occurred on September 25th of 2020. Per the recommendation of the county's claims adjuster, fleet management, and the prosecutor's office, approval of this resolution will provide payment in the amount of $1,500 to settle the claim. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
Are there any questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll move for approval of 23521.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23521 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Adam H. Board.
Resolution number 23621, resolution authorizing a supplemental appropriation and the creation of the Crisis Center Capital Fund.
Good morning, and thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity to bring forward 2 resolutions under Adam H. today. On behalf of our CEO, Ywca Clark-Jones, I'm Jonathan Thomas. I serve as the Vice President of Planning and Evaluation, and I just wanted to have a few opening remarks before handing it over to some colleagues. So before seeking approval of our resolutions, I would be remiss of me not to again thank the commissioners for their support on this project, not only financially, but through several key partnerships which have led to the resolutions our CFO Scott Fisher and Deputy County Administrator Chris Long will be reviewing here in a few moments. The community-wide planning efforts, which have informed the design of our new mental health and addiction crisis center to serve as the cornerstone of our continuum of crisis care, have benefited greatly from contributions of numerous community partners, a few of whom are represented here today and I would like to acknowledge, including Franklin County PFM, the Office of Justice Policy and Programs, the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, purchasing, staff from the Sheriff's Office, and also our partners over at the City of Columbus, including representatives from both Columbus Police and Columbus Fire. The resolutions today are key steps to delivering the Crisis Center to Franklin County residents. Again, on behalf of our CEO, I want to thank you all for the opportunity to introduce and offer some context for these resolutions. To that end, I will turn to Scott Fisher for the resolution that was just mentioned.
Good morning, County Administrators and Commissioners. Thank you for your time today. Our first resolution creates the Adam H. Crisis Center Capital Fund to be used to account for the construction of the Franklin County Mental Health and Addiction Crisis Center. It also establishes appropriations of $10 million for the fund and transfers Franklin County's $10 million capital commitment into that fund. Pending any questions, Adam H. would appreciate your approval of this resolution that sets up the accounting infrastructure and provides the initial funds to proceed with the construction project.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I'll move for approval of 23621.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23621 has been adopted. Resolution number 23721, resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with Hammis Company Healthcare to provide owner's representation services associated with the planning, design, and new construction of a mental health and addiction crisis center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy County Administrator. The County Administration and Public Facilities Management, partnered with Adam H., are pleased to bring forward to you today this resolution for Owner's Representative Services for the Crisis Center. Hammis has extensive experience in the medical field focused on Owner's Representative Services and also has both a local and a national presence, really the best of both worlds. The team, as part of their team, they also have Ginger Cunningham and Associates, who's going to have an aggressive focus on both the small and emerging business participation in the construction project itself, but also extensive focus on community outreach for the Crisis Center. PFM and Adam H. Partnered together will be coming before you in the coming months, bringing forward a design services resolution and construction manager resolution, as well as we get into the coming months working hand in hand with the owner's representative as we move forward. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
If there are no comments, I'll move for passage of 23721.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23721 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Child support enforcement.
Resolution number 23821, resolution authorizing a 4-day contract with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Division of Domestic Relations and Juvenile Branch in the amount of $1,307,952.18.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, Director, representing Franklin County CSEA. This morning, I ask your consideration in approving the CSEA interagency agreement with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Division of Domestic Relations and Juvenile Branch, beginning February 1st, 2021, in an amount not to exceed $1,307,952.18. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the court for expenses associated with the processing, adjudication, and creation of judgment entries on child support initiated cases. Each unit of service, defined as one hearing, will be reimbursed at a rate of $174.39, with a total of 7,500 hearings anticipated to be devoted to the contract. The Franklin County CSEA and the Franklin County courts have had a long history of successful collaboration in the establishment and enforcement of child support orders. Pending any questions, I request the resolution be approved.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of 23821.
Second.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23821 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank
Thank
you.
Susan. Next, Emergency Management Agency.
Resolution number 23921, resolution authorizing a contract with Meridian Rapid Defense Group for the provision of the delivery and supply of mobile barriers in the amount of $500,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Young, representing Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. Before you is a resolution authorizing a contract with Meridian Rapid Defense Group, LLC, for mobile barriers funded through and as part of our Regional State Homeland Security Grant Program. These are barriers designed to protect large crowd events periodically held within or utilizing the public right-of-way or paved parking areas, with a focus upon protecting individuals from a vehicle being driven into the crowd, causing significant harm and injury. There are a variety of strategies that can be employed to accomplish this goal, such as parked trucks, concrete construction barriers, or what I describe as a picket fence style that are successful in completely closing a lane or creating a limited access point. The picket fence style of barrier was previously purchased and provided to the Ohio State University and is used as part of the Sheriff's Office vehicle check process around the horseshoe on football game day. In the case now, the RFP was specific to a strategy or style of equipment that provides protection, but is also pedestrian ingress and egress friendly as possible, allowing for maximum foot traffic as you would see around the Columbus Marathon, the Arts Festival, or a public speaking event. When reviewing the 4 proposals submitted, Meridian Defense Group submitted the proposal for their equipment that was evaluated by 4 separate agencies to best meet the need of the entities that manage large crowd events. These barriers are what I would best describe as a mobile bollard style, allowing foot traffic to pass in the same way that fixed facilities utilize concrete planters or hardened landscape elements. This contract was prepared with the assistance of Franklin County Purchasing and the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office and reviewed by the Ohio Emergency Management Grant staff. The initial order for these units will be provided to the Columbus Police Division and should arrive by midsummer and be available for future events as we prepare for the days when we can all congregate and enjoy being part of the crowd while also safe. I'll gladly answer any questions and ask for your approval of this resolution.
It'll be nice when we get to that time that we can all gather again post-pandemic. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll move for approval of 23921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 23921 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next, Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 24021, resolution approving a suborder agreement with Jewish Family Services for workforce employment services in the amount of $200,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Assistant Director. The Community Renewal Enrichment Through Work Program, or CREW, will target 100 adult job seekers at or below 300% of the federal poverty level. Participants will receive workforce training and soft skills development, things like resume building, interviewing, and job search strategies. Job seekers are also paired with a career counselor to help create an individual employment plan that identifies their goals. Those counselors work with them to remove barriers and achieve their goals, up to and including obtaining employment. Jewish Family Services will look to place CREW participants in jobs paying a minimum of $15 an hour and provide 90 days of retention services after job placement. Program services will be offered in person and virtually during the public health crises. This resolution aligns with goal number 4 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, I request your approval.
Thank you. I'll move approval of 24021.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24021 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks, Vivian.
Dean, I'm gonna have to step away for just a couple seconds here. So if I could turn it over to perhaps Commissioner Brown, that'd be great.
Thank you.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 24121, resolution authorizing the president of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to execute a memorandum of understanding with the cities of Columbus and Whitehall, confirming an agreed upon funding plan and approving receipt of the fiscal year 2020 Justice Assistance Grant.
Good morning, Commissioners. Franklin County and the cities of Columbus and Whitehall are the direct recipients of FY 2020 Justice Assistance Grant funding in the amount of $412,577. Prior to issuing the subgrant awards, which will come before you next week for approval, we must formally submit a joint funding plan and a memorandum of understanding, which establishes the legal, fiscal, and administrative controls. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this memorandum of understanding.
If there aren't any questions, I will move approval of resolution 24120.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 24121 has been adopted.
Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 24221, resolution authorizing a supplemental contract with DLT Solutions Incorporated to complete services to upgrade the existing agency enterprise operating software, Archibus, in the amount of $64,695.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. This resolution is a supplemental contract with DLT Solutions, Inc. in order to procure services to upgrade our existing agency enterprise operating software, Archibus. This upgrade is required in order to maintain the application, continue to utilize certain features, and ensure compatibility with specialized software for our construction division. This contract was approved by the Data Board. PFM would like to thank CIO Juan Torres, the Data Center, in purchasing for their assistance with this contract. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there aren't any questions, I will move approval of resolution 24221.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, are you ready, sir?
Yes, I see this is completely throwing you off, Dean.
Resolution number 24221 has been adopted. Testing my skills this morning. Resolution number 24321. Resolution authorizing an indemnification agreement with Western, the authorized CNA surety for Brunner Corporation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy County Administrator. In March of 2018, the Brunner Corporation entered a contract with the county for the Correction Center project, and as part of that contract, provided a bid guarantee and contract bond with Western Surety being the surety for this project for Brunner. There came a time when subcontractors brought forward claims. Western was called upon to pay those additional claims from Brunner, and in February of 2020, Brunner provided the county with a letter of direction in which it irrevocably requested that the county issue any and all payments due or to become due for Brunner's contract to be paid jointly to Brunner and Western. And we've done so since then. In January of this year, another entity, Capital Plus Construction Services, came forward and notified the county's construction manager that Brunner had sold, assigned, and transferred to this new entity the rights to those contract funds. Western, the original surety, posits that its rights are superior and has requested the county to continue to issue those payments pursuant to that letter of direction back in 2020. The county will agree to continue those payments on the condition that Western hold harmless and by any subsequent claims that Capital Plus may have, that other entity, for the county. And therefore, this resolution would authorize and agree to the indemnification agreement as attached to this resolution. I would defer to Janine Hummer with the prosecuting attorney office, who's been intimately involved in this and supports this action, for any further questions that you may have, but pending any questions, would recommend your approval of this action.
Anybody have questions, comments? I'll move approval of 24321.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24321 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next is purchasing.
Resolution number 24421, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $5,572,814.28.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry-Valenier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 80 purchase orders for which the County Auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, 12 out of 18 eligible POs totaling $588,189 are being presented for award to 5 women business enterprises, 4 minority business enterprises, 2 small and emerging business enterprises, and 1 local economically disadvantaged business enterprise. This represents 67% of the eligible PO volume and 92% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
I'll move approval of 24421.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24421 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next is Board of Commissioners again.
Resolution number 24521, resolution reappointing Therese L. Stevenson, Trudy A. Bartley, and Nathan P. Weimer to the Franklin County Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. All of these appointments all these members are board members in good standing and desire to be reappointed. Pending any questions, would recommend approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 24521.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24521 has been adopted. Resolution number 24621, resolution appointing Tina Rutherford and Maureen Stapleton to the Ohio Children's Trust Fund Central Ohio Regional Prevention Council.
Commissioners, our prior appointments to this council were Chip Spinning and Jane Wide, both term limited out. Recommend appointments are Ms. Rutherford from Children's Services and Ms. Stapleton, our Executive Director for Celebrate One. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of these appointments.
I'll move approval of 24621.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24621 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any generalizations, Dean?
We have 3 this morning, Commissioner, from our friends at Economic Development and Planning. The first, case number ANX-09-21, an expedited type 2 annexation petition ANX-09-21 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on March 23rd, 2021. The petition is requesting to annex 5.2 acres, more or less, from Mifflin Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on April 27th, 2021. Site 2051 Stelzer Road, PID number 191-000100, and 2065 Stelzer Road, PID number 191-0001114. The second, case number ANX-10-21, an expedited type 2 annexation petition ANX-10-21 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on March 23rd, 2021. The petition is requesting to annex 7.7 acres, more or less, from Mifflin Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on April 27th, 2021. Site 2189 Stelzer Road, PID number 191-002-667, 2175 Stelzer Road, PID number 191-002-668, and 2155 Stelzer Road, PID number 191-002-678. And last, case number ANX-11-21, an expedited type 2 annexation petition ANX-11-21 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on March 24th, 2021. The petition is requesting to annex 80.847 acres, more or less, from Prairie Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on April 27th, 2021. Site 658 Rome Hilliard Road, PID number 240-000117, 800 Rome Hilliard Road, PID number 240-003105, and 800 Rome Hilliard Road, PID number 240-00640 and 240-006461.
Thank you. Well, that concludes our regular agenda. Is there a motion?
Commissioner, I'm sorry, we actually have one last resolution on the agenda this morning.
I don't see it. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
With your permission, sir.
Please do. Was there a motion? Oh, go ahead. You can read the resolution.
Resolution number 24721. Resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session for the purpose of considering personnel matters.
I will move to convene into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of a public employee, and to prepare for, conduct, or review negotiations, bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 24721 has been adopted. We are now in executive session at 9:54 a.m. And for those individuals going into executive session, I'd kindly ask that you just hold tight and we'll get you moved over shortly. For everyone else, you're more than welcome to stay on or exit as you see fit. Thank you.